The latest round of anti-big tech lawsuits kicked off recently with Epic Games filing against both Apple and Google for banning its mobile version of Fortnite from the Google Play and Apple App Stores. The ban followed violation of the App Store's terms of service when Fortnite pushed through an update that allowed players to buy V-Bucks without using Google Pay or Apple Pay for in-app purchases. This meant that the App Stores were not taking a 30% cut of the transaction fees, which Epic Games is alleging is an anti-competitive practice and an abuse of monopoly power. And in response to the ban, they released a parody of Apple's 1984 advert against IBM, accusing Apple specifically of monopolistic practices and becoming an innovation-suppressing tech giant. Epic hasn't targeted Google with a similar PR campaign, but that's because there are ways to sideload Fortnite into the Android OS, and Epic gives explicit instructions on how to do that on their website, so they're not going to be losing quite so much money through the Play Store ban as they will be through the App Store ban. The lawsuit itself is similar to Spotify's claim against Apple specifically that came around 2016 that Apple is engaging in anti-competitive practices through its use of charges on the App Store, and it's part of a growing antitrust movement against gated app stores. The novel thing about Epic's filing is that they're claiming that Apple and Google, in their use of gated app stores like this, are not competing against each other because you can't get the App Store on Android and you can't get the Play Store on iOS, that there's no direct competition between the two largest players in the market, and both sides have quite vigorously suppressed any other app stores being available through their own app stores, or making the whole process of getting other app stores on mobile devices much more difficult. So there's a novel claim there that could potentially bring some new legal angles onto the antitrust cases and move things forward. This kind of case will typically take quite a while to resolve. There'll be quite a bit of legal wrangling backwards and forwards, but we think for this case in particular, it's going to move quite quickly because there are some quite serious operational implications that have come out of it. In recent days, Apple has withdrawn Epic Games' app developer license for the App Store, which has meant that anyone developing using the Unreal Engine will not be able to publish things or publish updates on the App Store, which has huge implications for a wide range of developers, which has meant that Epic has tried to seek an injunction to prevent this already, and so the wheels have already started turning. One of the most frequent claims that this sort of action won't succeed, that big tech will continue to win the day, is that they are appealing to a legislature that doesn't really understand technology, that the people who are regulating these companies don't understand what the company is doing. But this particular lawsuit has more merit than most, we think, because it's quite easy to understand in analogous terms. One of the things that Epic Games has brought up within the lawsuit is that the 30% surcharge through the app stores is for digital goods only. It's not for things like Amazon or eBay where you buy physical goods through the app. They don't take a cut that way, and it's quite easy to understand even from an analogous perspective, that paying for different things from the same store resulting in different charge rates is unfair. So we feel that this lawsuit is also likely to have more traction. And also, we think it was unlikely to come about unless the earlier complaints that we saw against Apple from Hey, the email app that was banned from the App Store after it changed its payments mechanism, hadn't already gone through. Hey tweeted about its ban from the App Store and managed to get quite a bit of public support to get Apple to reverse its ruling in this particular case. And so without the precedent from Hey, it's unlikely that Epic would have considered this, particularly seeing as they've engaged in similar tactics to rally public support through the advert. They're trying to go from quite a similar playbook to what Hey had achieved here, but what they're aiming at is much, much broader in scope. Whereas Hey was just trying to get a consistent application of the App Store rules, where Apple was giving preferential treatment to players like Netflix and Spotify and offering them different rates compared to smaller providers like Hey, the action that Epic is undergoing is likely to have implications for the whole of the app ecosystem, that the transaction fees that app stores in general can charge is likely to be set by a precedent from this particular case, which was not a possibility from the Hey lawsuit.